Hello and welcome to Fast Break Bets for May 6th. Hopefully everyone had a lovely Cinco de Mayo and followed Gino and myself. Cash some Suns bets last night. Gino is not here today. He is busy with Kentucky Derby coverage. So it's just me, old Uncle Rico, aka Eric from Ecoff, 2-1 Sports coming at you. And for the two games today, we got the Heat, Knicks, and we have the Warriors and Lakers. As always, we're going to be using the DRF Sportsbook to tell you what bets to lock in for today's games. First game, really interesting. Let's just assume that Butler is going to be playing with the way the line is set up, and it's kind of been moving today. It's -4 over here at the DRF Sportsbook with an over-under of 209.5. We're going to be assuming Jimmy Butler is playing. And look, I'm going to be straight up with everybody. I want nothing to do with this game. I have no idea how these teams are going to react. We don't know what the health of Butler is. We don't know when the Heat shooting regression is going to take place because this team has been night and day from the regular season to the playoffs. And it's really hard to trust the Knicks team when, let's face it, the Heat were basically waving the white flag. And the Knicks almost lost that game. They had to battle back and won. They played with their foot a lot, almost cost them. You know, it's really hard to trust the Knicks team in this spot. So I don't want anything to do with the side. What I am going to do is I'm going to play the first half under of 107. Couple factors with this. Number one, Cinco de Mayo in Miami, boys and girls. We've all been to Miami. If you haven't for Cinco de Mayo, you're missing out. That place is going to be very late arriving crowd. So the energy in the arena is going to be a little bit dull to start. You won't have the Heat fending off the home crowd. Spoelstra was quoted as saying that the Heat shot more threes last game because he knew that was their only chance of winning, putting up more threes to make up for the absence of Jimmy Butler. So it's going to be a lot more drive, get inside the arc, the interior for the Miami Heat. So less three-point shooting. Another reason that I like it is when you just kind of look at when Randall is playing, the Knicks play slower and they play slow when he's not playing. They play faster when he's not playing, but they play insanely slower when he is playing. And they're one of the slower paced teams in the league. And neither game has gone over this 107 total. So I like the under here in the first half of 107. That is my first bet in this game. My second bet is I'm going RJ Barrett under 20.5 points. Let's just kind of look at it. For the season, his shooting percentage and points per game is down on the road compared to at home. So he really struggles at the road. Just looking at road games for the playoffs, he's only averaging 14 points per game. He's only gone over this 20.5 point total once. Home playoff games, that goes up to 23.25 points per game. And he's gone over this total everything but once. So we can really see his home road splits. He really struggles on the roads. So I'm going to play RJ Barrett under the 20.5 points. Now we're going to shift over to the Warriors and Lakers game. You know, I'm sorry, Gino is not here for this. I'd probably break his heart when I'm going to say this, but I'm on the Warriors here, plus the 3. I know that people always are going to say, oh, this is going to be a great bounce back spot. Zigzag theory for the Lakers. I looked at Bet Labs, and for those who bet that don't use Bet Labs, you're really missing out. Phenomenal database. That's where I get all my data when I mention these percentages and everything. You can plug stuff in. You can get all this data, and I absolutely love it. Teams coming off a 20-point win, which the Warriors are, 64% ATS in the following game. They're able to carry over that momentum after a blowout victory. So that's why I kind of like the Warriors here. I really like the adjustments that Steve Kerr made also. Entering JaMychal Green into the starting lineup, he was able to expand the floor. Also, they're basically stopped guarding Vanderbilt. So they allowed a little bit more roaming on defense. Looney and Green were still able to eat on the boards. So I really liked what they were able to do defensively and offensively with the change of bringing in JaMychal Green in the mix. And then the Lakers, look, it becomes a math problem with the Lakers a lot of time as well. They're ninth. They allow the ninth most threes, and they don't shoot threes. If you're changing 3 for 2s or 3 for 1s, because the Lakers do go to the free throw line a lot, that math-wise, that is just absolutely hard to line up. So I absolutely just like the Warriors here. Now, if you look at it, we're going to go over to our friends over at Thrive Fantasy. I'm going to be making a Thrive Fantasy lineup. Let me pull up the Thrive Fantasy screen here real quick. I am sorry for that, everybody. Usually Gino is the point man. I'm more of an off guard, not a point guard. So we are pulling up here at Thrive. We're going to go to the prop lobby. Over here at the prop lobby, we're going to click on NBA. We're going to scroll down. The first one I like, and I mentioned it before, we're going to go all the way down here to Mr. RJ Barrett. Under 23.5 points and assist. You know, Barrett isn't the playmaker. He isn't the guy that handles the ball. He is more in the wing, more looks to drive and everything. I'm not worried about the assist prop. Like I mentioned before, he really struggles on the road. So I'm going to be looking to fade him here on the road in this points assist prop. And I really feel for him to go over this number of 23.5, he needs to get 19 points. And I just don't see him getting 19 points in this one. And the next one, going to the nightcap, I am going with the man, the myth, the legend, my boy. I'm going with Wiggins over the 22.5 points and rebounds. Look, he's averaging 13.1 potential rebounds for the series, with the decreased minutes in Looney and Green not on the court at the same time. This is going to open up some more rebounding opportunity for Wiggins. So I like him to have many of opportunity to rebound. You know, look, I know he only had 9 potential rebounds last game, but let's face it, he didn't play the entire fourth quarter. So those are the two plays for Thrive Fantasy. Barrett under 23.5 points and assists. Wiggins over the 22.5 points and rebounds. I forgot to mention one of my bets, and I insanely apologize for that. I did bet Wiggins plus 600 to have a daily double. Daily double. I'm thinking of the Kentucky Derby to have a double. So my 4 bets for today are Warriors minus the 3, Andrew Wiggins double plus 600. In the earlier game with the Knicks and the Heat, I am taking the Knicks Heat under 107 for the first half, and RJ Barrett under 20.5 points. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for today's edition of Fast Break Bets. Make sure, if you're in Iowa, go over to the DRF Sportsbook. Use promo code FAST100. That way they know old Gino and I sent you. Gino and I will be back tomorrow breaking down some more NBA action. Best of luck.